Man, after the emotions of just over a week ago, having to come back, host the home tournament, get the win, just how big of a whirlwind was that to kind of lock back in emotionally and get back and play that game this weekend?
Yeah, I mean it was good for sure. I mean, we knew after the Cognizant Classic that we had that home event coming up, and the team was always ready to go out and play. So it was cool to kind of get out there and know that those guys are ready to play. And I ended up playing some pretty good golf, which was cool. So to kind of defend the individual title and win it again was awesome. But to see the team do so well and to win by, I think it was 10 or more shots or whatever it was pretty cool.
How different is it playing, like going from a PGA Tour event to then playing in a college event? Like how quiet it is, like just what's the atmosphere like? Like how different is it?
Yeah, I on at Water Sound was funny because on the first tee box, I said when everyone they announced my name and I went up to hit the ball, I could hear myself breathing. I haven't heard myself breathe in ages, so it's definitely a little bit different. But again, the competition is so good in college golf. I think it's still a battle to go out there and try to win. So I think it's a little bit different with the crowds and stuff. But again, it's still you still have to go out and play well.
You've talked a lot about your desire to win here individually and as a team competing for that national title. Once you kind of got your tour card, do you feel like that maybe lifted some pressure off of you and it kind of allows you to really focus and hone in on bringing home the natty for FSU?
Of course, yeah, but it's not me bringing back the natty; it's the team. I think you need five guys that can play well out there, and we do. So it's going to be cool for us to kind of go back and try to do what we need to do. We've been talking about national championship now for a couple months, and it's always hard to not look too far ahead, but we have some good events coming up to build up and build off of as a team, and I think we're doing great.
Kind of going off of that question, how are you changing your mindset from focusing on that PGA Tour card to working with your team towards that NCAA championship?
Yeah, I mean it was definitely, as I said before, weight lifted off my shoulders with getting that card for sure. But my focus has always been kind of with the team to win a national championship. They've been so supportive for, the career I've kind of chosen and going through those tour events and getting it done. But, these guys are brothers of mine. So they've understood every single week I've left and not been there for workouts or practices or whatever it is. And I think after last couple weeks we've had at Cabo and Water Sound and now our home event, we played very well this spring, and I see some cool things coming up.
How much did your experience at the Waste Management kind of play into going into that second round of the Cognizant when I think you started off at 4 under, like right around the cut line?
Yeah, definitely a little bit of vengeance for sure. I was definitely a little upset after Waste. But again, like I said before, it wasn't in my time, and I'm still in my faith and my belief that he always has a plan for me. And golf is just golf. It is a game of golf that we get to play every single day. But I knew that if I can go into Cognizant with the preparation I've done and how I've been playing, it's going to be okay. And that Friday, I woke up that morning with definitely a little bit more bite on the bullet for sure to go out and get it done, and to even try to give myself to win a chance in the event. So it was really cool.
Just this last year, I mean, you mentioned the whirlwind of going from the Cognizant to the college tournament, but it's been like that for a year for you, man. Have you been able to kind of take a step back and process that? And then also to finish it off, I mean, to get that tour card at a course, I know you said that you'd played there all the time growing up. I mean, was that kind of like a, all right, maybe this was meant to be moment for you?
Yeah, it's my caddy after Waste. He looked at me and he said, "Man, we know it's just not your time yet at Waste Management. It would have been cool to get it done there, especially that event, but we didn't even know if we were in the Cognizant yet." So about a couple of days later, we figured out that we're getting the Cognizant Classic, and I was like, "Damn, this could be a really cool moment for us because played there growing up, everything." And again, I haven't had much time to realize what's happening in the moment in time, which I'm almost glad because it's just I'm kind of keep going what I'm doing, and it's in this game you're always chasing for more and more and more. After winning or whatever it could be, you get about 5 minutes of fun, and then you kind of go back into the next week. So again, it's a journey that I've chosen to do this, and I'm excited to keep going.
Yeah, I mean this question in part about you, but in part to be a college golfer at this time, at this maybe era where NIL is advantageous. You've got a Nike deal. Like is it a good time to be a college golfer and have these kind of financial opportunities so that you can chase your individual and team dream here at Florida State?
Yeah, I mean it's amazing, but again, I don't, not to be rude, but I don't really care about the NIL. I'm here to win a national championship with this team. If it comes along the way, that's great. But again, I think these guys that we all have, it's just all about winning is with all of us, and it's not about either the money or whatever it could be. It is great to have that opportunity for us to, to be able to explore with and have money to travel with as well, which is great. But again, we're here to do one thing.
You kind of touched on this already, but what has it been like balancing working towards professional play while also still being with your teammates, going for that NCAA? Kind of what does that balance look like for you?
Yeah, I mean, um, it's not as much practice as people think it is. It's actually kind of taking time off. But again, it's the way we prep for college events, the way we prep for tour events. It's damn near the same. We work really hard as a team together, and it's really cool to see. I think our coaching staff, Trey Jones and Ryan Heisey and Matt Wall, they've all done such a great job with all of us, kind of preparing us for the golf courses we're going to, and even for the tour events I'm going to. So it's they've been really incredible with the stuff they've done.
I read that your dad worked 3 jobs growing up and your mom worked as well. How much kind of did that put a chip on your shoulder or know like that you had to work hard to get where you are?
Yeah. Well, I've said this a lot. My dad's my hero, man. He led me to where I'm at now as a man. And I think it made me realize that you do have to work hard to get what you want. And the way we grew up, the way my sisters and all of us did everything was just trying to be a dog, man. Compete as much as you can and do what you need to get done. And my dad would work from 4 a.m. till 2 p.m. and be out there with a flashlight at night with me practicing him golf balls. So it's to see what he's done, be such a great role model for me is amazing. But again, my mom, she hasn't missed an event in the last 5 years, which is pretty unbelievable. And she's always there supporting me. She's always there on the first tee box to do a little prayer with me. And it's just to see that kind of support from both of them is pretty amazing.
Kind of following up on that, obviously, with your family and the support system at large for you, when you mentioned, like, man, this is, you haven't really had a time to take a break and do these things, how important are they? And, how have they kind of kept you going? Because I'm sure there's a lot of ups and downs. It's got to
Yeah.
fluctuate. How have they been able to help you in this time period?
Well, again, my mom, she always says she'll love me no matter what happens. And, it sounds pretty cliche, but it's the truth. She's always there, no matter if I miss a cut, make the cut, win an event, whatever it is, it's the same reaction off 18. So it's just amazing. I think there's been definitely some highs and lows, but it is a game of golf. I think I'm not trying to dumb it down and make it seem like it's nothing, but again, it's a passion I have that God gave me, and it's amazing. I think just to be out there to do what I want to do and pursue the goals I have is pretty cool.
Hey,
To
did
kind of
your
go
mom and
back to
dad
the
play golf? I'm not sure I know much about your parents' background athletically. Can you just tell us a little bit about, their sporting interests?
My dad, well,
Your
my
mom
dad
and your mom
actually,
and dad, yeah.
yeah, mom and dad didn't really play too much golf growing up. My dad actually learned the golf swing off a magazine, which was funny. I was about like 6, 7 years old, and he learned it off of Justin Rose. So it was pretty cool to kind of go through the journey with him. He was my teacher until I was about 16 years old, and we were kind of clueless, but all my dad knew was to go out and compete and just be the best you can. He pushed me to my limits growing up as a kid, and I'm so thankful for that now. He wasn't soft on me, and he wasn't easy with me, and same with my mom. They made sure I was not just a good golfer, but a good kid. So I think they've done an amazing job for sure.
To kind of go back to the cognizant, that moment that you won the tour card, obviously you still had some game left to play. How did you kind of hold that celebration off and stay focused on the task at hand?
Yeah. I definitely was crying for sure right after I got the card, which was it was an emotional moment. But everyone was saying congratulations, but in the back of my mind, I knew I still had 2 more days of golf to go. So I didn't want to go out and shoot 80 the next day and look like an idiot, to be honest. So yeah, so it was cool. To have that moment with my parents and my sisters on 18 green was amazing. But again, it is, we still have 2 more days of golf, and to get locked in, the only thing we did was literally go to Chipotle, have a couple of Coca-Colas, and then go to bed. So it was pretty amazing.
What's your schedule moving forward? Are you playing any more PGA Tour events prior to the end of the college season, or is it just college from here on out?
Um, I'm about pretty sure on the Valspar. I'm probably gonna play the
Okay.
Valspar before the Floridian. But that's something that, I won the Floridian last year in the college event to get that exemption, and they've been really kind with what they've done for me. And I think I'm probably gonna play that and play Floridian as well. I'm not gonna miss a college event, that's for sure.
Luke, I know golf is so individualistic, but like when you're out there on these pro events, like whether you're on the range or like in the locker room, like do you sense kind of like a level of respect these guys have for you? Are they kind of ribbing you about the fact that you're winning these tours, but these events and you're placing well, but you can't take the money? I mean, like what sort of I guess camaraderie have you been able to build on these events you've been on?
Well, the guys and the guys here with me, they don't really care. They're still my brothers. So, no matter what I do, they'll treat me exactly the same, which I love. And, they've been true to me, which is cool. The level of respect has always been the same throughout the whole team. And no matter if you're a freshman to a senior, we're all the same. We don't try to treat anyone differently and any higher than the other one. So I think we've done an amazing job. It's definitely cool to maybe step out on a college tournament and look around and see a couple eyes on you. But again, it's not going to change my view on what I need to do and get down with the team. And I think the team has done a great job with me.
To go back to the Cognizant, against round two, starting at 4 under, and then you go on this run of 5 birdies and 6 holes, I think. Was that kind of a relief, or were you still kind of like locked in, not really believing you got the tour card yet, kind of thing?
I was trying to win the damn event. Yeah, I was trying to go out there and prove a message, man. It was it was so much of just making the cut. And we were that Friday morning, I looked at my caddy and I said, we're gonna go out there and try to win this thing. I think if we try to go out there and make the cut, it's not gonna be too good. So, when we made 5 birdies and 6 holes, I was like, this is getting pretty good now. We can actually make a little bit of a charge. And we finished up that week in great momentum. I think it was we got one back or something like that going to 11, which was cool. And I'm still learning out there. It is a little bit different coming down that stretch. The pressure you feel and the cameras on you 24/7 is definitely different, but it's something that we're learning every week, which is cool.
Got time for a couple more?
How cool is it that the regional is going to be in Tallahassee this year, and how much does it help you guys like on your journey to a national championship later on?
Yeah, I mean it's at our home golf course, which is cool. And I think this golf course, when we got it in mint condition, man, it's hard to play. So it's gonna be challenging for everybody that plays here. And I'm excited to see what happens. We've been building on so many good momentum builders in these last couple events, and to see the guys and the camaraderie between all of us has been amazing. So I'm super excited to see what happens.
Following up on that, with hosting NCAA regionals at Seminole Legacy, are you happy to play the intercollegiate somewhere else just to make sure nobody else gets a look at what may be coming up?
To be honestly, I don't think it really matters. This golf course is hard enough where, no matter how many practice rounds you play, it's still going to be hard. So, again, Glenarm was awesome. It was amazing up there to go out there and play that home event there. But, if you come out here and play this golf course, it's hard no matter what.